Welcome to Walking Wilder. I'm Bark. This reading is a look at the energies for the rest of 2025. We'll see what comes through. This is of course a general reading, but if it resonates with you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. That helps me connect to your energy in future readings if you're interested in that. So Destiny is at the bottom of the deck here. We'll see what comes up. Something about blessings, being aware of your blessings. The key words on here is unaware or graceful. And I don't know, there might be a theme here of needing to count your blessings, needing to maybe become more aware of the small things. But I actually, that's kind of, in a lot of ways, that's such a cliche, but I kind of have the feeling with it that this also has to do with becoming aware of blessings that you haven't actually seen, things that are happening that you may not consider to be a blessing, but later on, it turns out to be a blessing in disguise, that kind of energy. There's something about here trying to connect to your creative side. Uninspired, creative is the key words on this. And to me, she looks a little like she's kind of, maybe not stuck, but it's like a flat type of energy where there's nothing really, well, not nothing, but, it's like there's no flow in whatever. And she's standing here with this, I don't know what that's supposed to be, some sort of hot something that has steam. I don't know. But it gives me a vibe of being in this mode of kind of watching life go by, watching things happening. It's kind of like you're not really feeling invested in whatever is going on. And with this card here, growth, and then the keywords dying and evolving, it's kind of like, to me it has this energy of feeling stuck in a process, and maybe not stuck per se, but sort of like I've done a lot of development, I've grown a lot, and now it's like you're sort of in this stage of watching what is going on. It's kind of like there's a stillness, a space of not really being that inspired, although there might be things you want to do, but it's like, well, and again, it doesn't really feel stuck. It's more of a I observe whatever is going on around me, and just not a lot of movement, if that makes sense. This card is about limits, and there might be some physical limits right now. Some of you might be recovering from something, or you don't really have much funds to go out and do, or something like that. There can be something in the physical world, but for most of you it kind of feels like you're in this in-between state of discovering that life actually has a lot of blessings, and kind of sitting with whatever growth spur I hear you have been going through, waiting for destiny to kind of kick in is sort of the feeling that I'm getting with this. Past or future focused or present. So there's something about being in the here now, being in the present, having walked away from the past, but not quite stepped into the future yet, if that makes sense. That's sort of the energy that I'm getting with this. So let's see here. Let's get some tarot cards and see what is the challenge with this spirit. Why is this coming up? Can I know more about what's the challenge here? I apparently can't shuffle cards today, but other than that, I hope you're all doing good. All right. The core of the matter. Why is the collective kind of hanging out in this neither there nor here space? What's the challenge here, Spirit? Nine of Wands, some sort of burden. I'm just noticing now that over here on the deck of this is the card that's sadness. So for some of you, you know, there might have been some sort of loss in your life, a situation, a person, a connection, you know, that is sort of giving you, you know, putting you in this position of kind of reevaluating your life, your decisions, your whatever it is, and brings with it a certain level of uncertainty with this card here. I think that's for some of you. You know, there has been some sort of loss that has put you in, or at least partly put you in this position. Nine of Wands, some sort of burden here, bruised and battled. So whatever this is that has brought you here has been a heavy process. Ten of Swords at the bottom here, so yeah. But this is also, see how, you know, there's all these sparks of light. So it's kind of like, yes, you are connected to spirit. This is, you know, for some of you, this has been a deep spiritual lesson. The dark night of the soul with this dark part of the bottom here. But I also see it's like you're kind of getting ready to snap out of it. Snap out of it, that doesn't. But, you know, to move away from whatever it is. It's like, you know, there's a connection to light here and leaving the darkness behind. Growing here with the Queen of Cups. And, you know, she has the snake that's kind of like this shedding your skin, evolving. And that's also, you know, a process that takes a little bit of time. But yeah, here's the Ace of Pentacles. So this is this getting ready to create something new. And again, you know, with the creatrix here, the uninspired, the creative, it's kind of like you're waiting for something to materialize itself in order to move with this. And it may not necessarily be something in the physical, although, you know, with Pentacles, it might very well be. So some of you might be waiting for funds to come in, or it might be, you know, a connection that needs to materialize, a job you're going after, or, you know, whatever it is. Some of you might want to move and kind of feel like, well, until I do this move, I can't really, you know, create what it is I want to create. With the Six of Pentacles here, this feeling of generosity, you know, of kind of give and take, but it's like I feel like there's a stuckness with this. It's sort of like you have this idea of something you want to create, but it's just not really coming into balance here. Can I get one of these, Spirit, to see more about what this solution? Here's the key to the solution. The authority figure. Some of you might actually be needing to borrow money, something like that, in order to, you know, if you want to buy a house or you want to start a new business or something. It's like there's, you know, you're needing a solution and something with somebody in authority that might, you know, say yes or no, or might demand more, you know, more paperwork, more proof, more whatever. And here's the Strength card with this. This is not an easy thing. Whatever it is you're trying to do here, it's not easy, not in the, you know, spiritual sense, in the leaving this dark night of the soul, or this this place here behind shedding your skin, becoming something new, but it's also like whoever is involved in these decisions or kind of have an opinion about it, perhaps for some of you, is not easy to deal with. There's a very stuck energy with this card, kind of like, well, it's my way or the highway. I am the one that decides if this is good or not. Tell me more about the solution to that. Commitment. This is you committing to doing whatever it is you want to do here. Move some of this out of the way a little bit so that you can... All right, let's see here. Can I know a little more, Spirit? Idea. Yeah, some of this is, you know, you reconnecting with this creative side of you, with whatever idea it is that you're trying to, you know, bring into the world here, whether it's job related or whatever it is, and recommitting to that, you know, realigning with yourself in some sense and saying, well, this is my vision, this is what I want to create, so I'm going to go after that regardless of what this authority figure over here, you know, is saying. And this can be like anything from family to your, you know, the guy at your bank, you know, whatever it is, but someone who's kind of like, well, I, you know, feel entitled to somehow have an opinion about how you're doing this or why you're doing this or should you be doing this, or, you know, so it's kind of like you're feeling like someone could potentially put the brakes on whatever it is you're doing here. And here's the decision. So some of you are having to make a decision that says, yes, I'm going to pay attention to this person, if it's, you know, family that you want to keep around. And others of you are going to say, okay, I'm going to walk my own path now and turn the back to this. And I feel kind of like finding a creative solution to this, you know, and somehow manifesting this blessing here into reality. And finding perhaps, you know, a new source of generosity to support whatever it is you're wanting to do here. What supports your energy in this, other than, you know, sticking to your Six of Cups? So there's something here that you know that's, you know, a memory, experience, something like that. There's, for some of you, it's also a connection I'm hearing, that you'll find that you can draw on here. You might not have asked, or you haven't been wanting to ask, or, you know, something like that, but it's like there's this, whatever this memory is for you, or this past connection, or this past, you know, family, for quite a few of you, could be part of the solution here with this here. Could be the key to figuring out, how do I'm seeing someone like walking around an obstacle. So it's like, okay, if this authority figure over here, you know, that we have here, if you know, for instance, if you want to borrow money and the bank is like, nope, we're not going to do that type of thing, there might be another solution, a more creative solution that involves something from the past, someone from the past, that you might be able to find balance with. Here's the Temperance card. And the Page of Swords, you know, so there's definitely a need to kind of look for different ways of doing something. Look for new information. Perhaps ask someone you haven't really thought about asking before, or, you know, go to another bank, or go to a family member, or go to, I don't know, there's this need for finding balance somewhere else outside of whatever has kind of been putting you in this I can't really move type of thing here. Can I know more about this, Spirit? Six of Wands. So yeah, there's victory to be had here. It's a matter of finding the road there. So yeah, here's the Sun. So it's a matter of shining the light on the right path to kind of see, you know, I'm seeing someone with the flashlight going, like, you know, trying to figure out, where am I going? Where's the obstacle gone? Where's the clear path to whatever it is I'm wanting to create here? Queen of Swords, which is also being very clear about what is it that I want to manifest? What does this look like? What are the benefits? Where, what might I be doubting? What am I needing? What resources? Really be clear about what is this? What do I need? How is it going to go? And also, I think if you're involving someone else, here's the King of Wands, if you're going to, share your idea with someone else and kind of invite them into the project or asking them for help, there's a need to be very clear about why and how you see this playing out, kind of like having the business plan, having the budget thing figured out, if you're wanting to borrow money to move or whatever it is. There's something here that you need to be very clear and very like cool, calm, and collected is what I'm hearing. Here's the Tower. So this might come, all of a sudden. Somebody might also bring you an offer that you did not see coming in regards to this. Like out of the blue, here comes something in. That could be, or it can be you all of a sudden getting this, idea to, oh wait, I've been kind of, feeling stuck in this Nine of Wands energy here. I haven't really been able to move, and all of a sudden it's like I see a different pathway. I see a different way out of this, a different way to create all of this. It's kind of like, you've been in this dark night of the soul type of energy, and it does not have to be that in the traditional sense, but it's in this place of feeling stuck, not really feeling inspired, feeling like I don't really know what I'm wanting. I don't know what I want to create. I don't know, that type of thing, to kind of shedding your skin. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, okay, now I see. Now I realize, what the direction is here. A clear path ahead with the sun here. Illumination. What don't we see coming in this? Here's the Queen of Pentacles. You being independently capable of manifesting whatever it is you want, or you finding the resources to manifest whatever it is you want. You might still have to, cooperate with someone else with this solution key here. But this is telling me, yes, you will find the answer. You will find the resources to create whatever it is you want to create, to do whatever it is you want to do here. Eight of Cups, leaving something behind. And here's the Five of Wands, which, can be discussions, kind of like not really being in agreement, with this authority figure here, sort of like, well, perhaps being told, no, that's not possible, you need to change your plans, or you need to provide something else in order for this to, but here's the Two of Cups, which, well, a soul bond energy, but it's also energy that's talks about balance, talks about good choices, talks about all of that. So it's like you're leaving, with the Eight of Cups, you're leaving this distraction, I hear, this energy of discussions, of, just kind of struggle with this, and exchanging it for this much more balanced, I'm going to find a way through this. So that, and the Queen of, all right, what's the possible outcome for this situation, Spirit? There comes the Sun again. And here's the Moon. So, moving out from this not seeing the way. Here's the Ten of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man and the Sun. There's something here about, with the Ten of Swords, which of course is, and here was the Nine of Swords over here, but the Ten of Swords is an ending. So there's an ending here of this difficulty with work, with trying to manifest whatever it is you need in order for this to work, to an energy of Three of Pentacles, which is much more working together, creating something, or, you finding the resources, finding the help that you need to whatever, this is. And again, here's the Sun one more time, and the Hanged Man. So there's something about seeing something from a different perspective, and also being a little bit patient and kind of, holding on to hope, I hear, with the Two of Cups here, that balance will be found in this. But it's like, there is this energy of I'm kind of stuck, but I'm feeling more the Hangman here is more I'm in a waiting position. Not so much the stuckness, but it's almost like there's this energy of waiting for this tower to come in, like poof, and then it's like, all right, there's some sort of solution, a new person or person from the past, or a new idea, something comes around or manifests itself to kind of help you in this situation. But you have to be a little bit patient here. It's not quite there yet. See, the moon is at the bottom of the deck here, so it's like we're not quite out in the sun just yet. There's still something not seen here. Yeah, Eight of Swords here. This puts you in a position of being, stressed and maybe anxiety. It's like, why the heck can't I manifest? Here's the Magician, and here's the World card. So yeah, this will end, and you will be able to manifest whatever it is you're wanting here. But there is a need to be a little bit patient. Can we get some advice here, Spirit? Three of Wands, hold on to your vision. Hold on to whatever it is you're wanting to do here. Here's the Knight of Pentacles. He also looks like he's kind of waiting, and here's the two bears. He's sort of standing in between, your project growing, your whatever it is you're wanting to manifest here with the Pentacles. It's sort of like, well, things take time. He looks a little bit like he's in a waiting position, but he is keeping an open mind. He's looking ahead. He's holding on to his vision, thinking, okay, things are going to change. Something's going to come in that's going to help me with this. It's sort of like holding on to this belief that that's the way that it is. Four Wands here, stability. Wheel of Fortune underneath here. So yeah, this requires patience. But, the Sun card has come out now several times, so there's light ahead. That's kind of a cliche thing, but yeah, this is I split this deck, and here's the gift card. There's some gift here, coming in from spirit, coming in from another person. And I don't necessarily mean, a tangible physical gift in the form of funding or, anything like that. But there's some sort of inspiration, some sort of something. And for some of you, it could be that, somebody, a family member or, whatever, decides to actually physically give you a gift or lend you money or, something that's going to move this energy for you. But again, hold on and hold on to your wish, hold your vision with this. This is like two cards that talks about, this is what I want. I'm putting it out there to the universe and trusting that it's going to come through for me. So that's the energy of this. So I hope this helps for you. Hold your vision for the rest of this year. Be patient. Things are working. The universe is working. Be sure that you know exactly what it is you want, and keep the vision. So I hope it helps. Give it a thumbs up and write me a comment if you feel called. That would be wonderful. And please subscribe to the channel. That helps it grow and more people can get readings. And that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Big love.